It's been long awaited.
What's happening, fellas? Check out this classic 1983 Yamaha YZ100. If this doesn't get your blood flowing, I don't know what will. This is an absolute time capsule. Another one here at the New England Motorcycle Museum. I was 18 years old when this bike came out. I'm 56 years old. I'd say it's aging a little bit better than me. This was the bike dreams were made of. This was the only manufacturer that made a 100 in 1983. They made this bike from 76 to 83. The first 76, 77, 78, 79 kind of had a real old school flair with a wimpy suspension, and they looked more like a Mini. This thing is the 2-year model 82 and 83, and they had it dialed in. It was pretty much on the same level as the 125, but they discontinued the 100cc bike in 1983. This one here is absolutely stunning. If you're wondering where it came from, the collector from Alabama that we bought the father-son IT 465 and IT 175 from owned this bike for many moons. And when he decided to let his collection go, he goes, I want you guys to have it. I want you guys to do your thing, bring them to the next level, and find them a new home. So now, we put quite a bit into the bike, but when we got it, it had this original factory gas tank in mint shape, the original seat in mint shape, and he had already done the conversion on the suspension. Check this suspension out closely. This is a full upgrade to a later model Yamaha IT 175 long travel forward axle forks and triple clamps and wheel and brake assembly. Everything's been upgraded. And the rear swing arm here, this is off an IT 175. That's a well-known inner circle hop up trick. If you those people on the inner circle knew that this frame was very similar to the IT 175, and this swing arm will bolt right on and the shock will bolt right on, giving you better travel, a lighter, stronger, polished swing arm, the polished fork lowers. You got about a foot of suspension travel on the front and probably 10.5 inches on the back. Just a kick-ass little machine. But it's, this is a kick-ass play bike. If you're going to race a motorcycle, you can race vintage motorcycle with it. If you just want a bike to ride around, you can't beat these. You can ride these all day long, putt around like grandpa, or rev it to the moon racer style, or just putt down the trails. It'll take whatever you can dish out. These are notoriously reliable. The Yamaha 80s and 100s were one of the most bulletproof engine packages ever made, and they're super simple. They're air cooled. You can have this whole top end of this motor dismantled in about 20 minutes. It's 4 bolts for the head, 4 bolts for the carb, a couple for the pipe, and the whole top end comes off. 4 nuts on the jug. So the engine was rebuilt recently by the previous owner. The exhaust system is the original OEM exhaust system. If you look closely, there's no dings or dents on the exhaust. The exhaust is in pristine condition, which is remarkable, as is the rest of the motorcycle. The handlebars are in brand new condition. The grips are brand new. The front number plate is new. The front number plate is new. The side number plate plastics and rear fender are new. The tank, again, is the original factory item. And look at the frame rails on this thing. Guys, you always check the frame rails. Absolutely minty, mint. Not a single ding on it. Now, his IT 175 had like 300 miles on it. The IT 465, I think, had like 600 miles on it. His bikes just were super low hour bikes. This is no exception. Has the air valve on the front forks, so you can increase the air pressure in the forks. Probably run about 10 or 12 pounds on it. Also has a new front tire. It's a Dunlop, brand new Dunlop D952. Still has the hairy nubs on it. Brand new rear tire. If you take a look at the pegs, those are mint shape, as is the shifter. Zoom in close and personal on the engine cases and everything. The cylinder head, there's no damage. This is probably the nicest 83 YZ100 in the country. I certainly haven't seen a nicer one. I've only seen a couple of these with the 175 suspension conversion, and it gives it a big bike feel. But when you sit on it, don't worry about it being too tall, because it sinks down about 5 inches into the travel, and it's just super comfy. The seat's nice and comfy. I want to grab the work order here just in case I forgot anything. Again, it's a 1983, last year, the Yamaha YZ100, the end of an era. The engine compression tested perfect. The carb was clean. It's got a new fuel petcock on it, new fuel line with an inline fuel filter, new carb vent lines. The airbox is cleaned out and a new air filter was installed. It's a new Uni dual stage air filter. All the cables were lubricated and adjusted. It's got brand new handlebar grips on it. It's got a new exhaust seal. So it's got some new hardware on it, and of course all the new plastics on it. A brand new gold chain, brand new tires and tubes. The front forks are not only off the IT-175, but they're completely rebuilt with new seals and new oil, and they're polished externally. So transmission oil was changed with Maxima MTL 75 weight transmission oil. It's been jetted, reset the float level in the main jet, so in the needle. So 10 weight fork oil in it, by the way. Just a beautiful piece. Everything's done on this one. It's got new custom, the original factory Yamaha graphics, OEM reproduction graphics, matching the tank graphics and the 100, and the number plates is all new. We've got a total of 22 hours labor in the bike, plus parts. It came to $2,759 in labor. That, again, that does not include the previous owner's investment in the IT-175 suspension and the other upgrades that he'd made on this bike. So over $4,000 has been invested into massaging this thing to perfection. It's just a beautiful piece. As you can see, the exhaust pipe is in mint shape, no dents on it, and it's just been painted. It's beautiful. The entire bike has been given what we call a rotisserie detail. It's been steam cleaned, hot water pressure washed, degreased, and then the frame was prepped and painted. The engine was prepped and painted. The exhaust was prepped and painted. The hubs are prepped and painted. All the aluminum on the rims was cleaned and polished, and the swing arm was actually polished. Also, you can see the aluminum on the forks, on the front forks, is nice and shiny. That's been polished. They repainted the triple clamps and put the new graphics on. So they spent a full 10-hour day, almost a day and a half in the detail shop, and then the rest of the time in the service department getting tuned by Jimmy Laurinaitis, and then the Wizard put the final Wizard tune on it. But just a kick-ass bike. I don't. If you're looking for a 100, there's like a cult following on these. They race these out in California. A lot of the old pro riders like me have these and like to rip them around because you can go really fast. You can feel like you're going really fast, but they're not that fast. But you can kind of feel like Ricky Carmichael, even if you're not. Basically, there's just a kick-ass, and let's face it, even if you don't ride it, just to walk in the garage every day and see this beauty out there is worth the price of admission. So, good luck finding a nicer one. I don't think you will. This thing's an absolute dime piece. Look at it, June. You want to add anything about it?
Few and far between these things. Yeah, shoot the mic.
Look at the steel adjusters on here. Oh, did I mention the gold chain and sprocket? I don't think I did. New chains and sprockets, all new hoses. The pegs are perfect. The engine is beautiful. It's just a dime piece, man.
We had a lot of emails, a lot of requests, and the YZ100 seems to be a fan favorite for this era. Aside from the YZ250, we get more requests in the YZ100 than I feel like. It's got to be in the top 5 most requested motorcycles. Do you have one for sale? Is there one in the inventory? Can I buy it? Good luck bidding, guys.
I wish I could keep it. This thing's badass. Love to add this to the collection.